Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopi-jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi-jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Zasodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Zasodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Jamana Chira Vanachari Jamana-chera Vanachari Jaya Rama Madhava Jambihari Jaya Rama Madhava Jambihari Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare So thank you all for coming tonight. going to dive deep into that ocean of transcendental bliss. Bhagavad Gita, as it is. We wouldn't waste our time on one of those bogus editions, speculative editions that I'm God, you're God, and we're all God. No, we want to hear it as it is from our beloved Srila Prabhupada. Ki Jai. So tonight we're reading Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 13, one of the key verses. I was really in line when I found out the verse I'm speaking on tonight. This is one of the most wonderful verses in the whole Vedic wisdom, actually. 9:13, let's see. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. mahātmānas Pṛthā daivīṁ prakṛtim āśritāḥ bhajanty ananya-manaso bhūtādim avyayam mahātmānas Pṛthā daivīṁ prakṛtim āśritāḥ bhajanty ananya-manaso bhūtādim avyayam mahātmānas Pṛthā daivīṁ prakṛtim āśritāḥ bhajanty ananya-manaso bhūtādim avyayam mahātmānas Pṛthā
prakṛtim āśritāḥ bhajanti
ananya-manaso
jñātvā bhūtādim avyayam
avyayam. Chanters? mahātmānas Pṛthā daivīṁ prakṛtim āśritāḥ manaso padānyānanamādidam. mahātmānas Pṛthā
daivīṁ prakṛtim
āśritāḥ manaso mahātmānas Pṛthā ananya-manaso bhūtādim avyayam mahā-ātmānaḥ. The great souls to but mam unto me pārtha of son of Pṛthā daivīm divine prakṛtim nature āśritāḥ having taken shelter of bhajanti render service ananya-manasaḥ without deviation of the mind jñātvā knowing bhūta of creation ādim the origin avyayam inexhaustible. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Of son of Pṛthā, those who are not deluded, the great souls are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Purport. In this verse, the description of the Mahatma is clearly given. The first sign of the Mahatma is that he is already situated in the divine nature. He is not under the control of material nature. And how this is effective? That is explained in the 7th chapter. One who surrenders under the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Kṛṣṇa, at once becomes freed from the control of material nature. That is the qualification. One can become free from the control of material nature as soon as he surrenders his soul to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the preliminary formula. Being marginal potency, as soon as a living entity is freed from the control of material nature, he is put under the guidance of the spiritual nature. The guidance of the spiritual nature is called daivīṁ, prakṛtim, divine nature. So, when one is promoted in that way by surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one attains to the stage of great soul, mahātmā. The mahātmā does not divert his attention to anything outside Kṛṣṇa, because he knows perfectly well that Kṛṣṇa is the original Supreme Person, the cause of all causes. There is no doubt about it. Such a mahātmā, or great soul, develops through association with other mahātmās, pure devotees. Pure devotees are not even attracted by Kṛṣṇa's other features, such as the four-armed mahā-viṣṇu. They are simply attracted by the two-armed form of Kṛṣṇa. They are not attracted to other features of Kṛṣṇa, nor are they concerned with any form of any demigod or of a human being. They meditate only upon Kṛṣṇa in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. They are always engaged in unswerving service of the Lord in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatam Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Savitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shcha Namah Viṣṇu Padaya Kṛṣṇa Prestaya Bhūtale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyadya Deshatarine. So, reading through this wonderful purport of Srila Prabhupada, one point jumped out of the page at me. We are under the control of one of two natures. One can become free from the control of material nature as soon as he surrenders his soul to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Being marginal potency, as soon as a living entity is free from the control of material nature, he is put under the guidance of the spiritual nature. So the point is, you're going to be under one nature or the other. It's not that you can be free from any nature. We're going to be under the control of the material nature or the spiritual nature. So the point is, you have your choice. This is the very common example we give in this connection is, we're under the control of the state. Either as a free citizen or a prisoner. Either way, you're under the control of the state. So which way would you like to be controlled? We have our choice, material nature or the spiritual nature. So by the ordinary person has no idea there is even a choice. He doesn't even know he's under the control of the material nature. He's just being manipulated like a puppet, not realizing he's being manipulated by what is known as the three modes of material nature. So under that nature is not very pleasant situation actually. He's forced to go through the threefold miseries, the fourfold miseries. He's forced to get sick, get old, and die again and again and again through 8,400,000 different species of life. So those who are actually fortunate, they come in contact with a bona fide spiritual master who enlightens them to understand what is their actual position within the modes of material nature. Such persons are given the knowledge that you can get free from this entanglement if you want. Kṛṣṇa is giving the Bhagavad Gita specifically to free us from our entanglement within the three modes of material nature. So we can take advantage of it or not. We have a free choice. Take advantage of the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita or do not take advantage. Actually, Bhagavad Gita also says that 1,000 among men, when they endeavor for perfection, and out of those who have achieved perfection, hardly even one knows me in truth. So it's very rare to find a person who even endeavors for perfection. And out of those who endeavor for perfection, even rare still is that person who achieves it. So would you like to be that person or not? You have a choice. Do you want to be a liberated person who's no longer entangled by the modes of nature? The choice is yours. Each one of us has that choice. It's not that the choice is decided by some higher authority. The choice is completely up to you, completely up to me. Do I want to be a liberated soul, or do I want to remain entangled here in the vicious cycle of birth and death? So if we choose to get out of it, we have a wonderful opportunity here. It's called the International Society for Kṛṣṇa Consciousness. It's a place where we can actually, as mentioned in this purport, such a mahātmā, a great soul, develops through association with other mahātmās, pure devotees. So we have our original mahātmā, Srila Prabhupada, and to whatever extent we've actually aligned ourselves or surrendered ourselves to His divine instructions, to that extent we are also mahātmās. The opposite is duratma, a cripple-minded soul. So you can be one or the other, a mahātmā or a duratma. Of course, in the beginning, we're 1% mahātmā, 99% duratma, and gradually we become free from the duratma tendency and become completely fixed in mahātmā consciousness. So there's a transition in there between being a mahātmā and a duratma. But the more we can take the shelter of such great personalities as Srila Prabhupada by embracing his teachings as our very life and soul, then we can quickly come to the position of mahātmā, get free from all this duratma contamination. So we have so much facility here. We have a whole movement. We have this beautiful temple, Krishna Balaram. We have Tulsi worship. We have Guru Puja. We have so much facility here. We have the holy Dham, where Lord Krishna's pastimes are still going on right now for those who have the eyes to see them. We have all this wonderful facility here. It's up to us to capitalize on this facility. So we can, they say, don't be lazy, don't be crazy. We can become very lazy about this process, not take it very seriously, or we can take it very seriously that this is my one chance after millions and millions of births. Let me get out of this madness now, right now, as soon as possible. It's up to us. We have to decide what we want to do. We want to stay entangled, or we want to get out of the entanglement. So it's your choice. Think about it. What do you want? You want to remain entangled? You want to get out of it? See, we have that. It's your own choice in your own heart. No one's going to force you. You must choose to become Kṛṣṇa conscious. No. No one's going to force you. Why? Well, love cannot be forced. Kṛṣṇa wants our love. He doesn't want robots who are being manipulated by him. Of course, you want to be manipulated. The material energy is there to manipulate you. We can be puppets in the hands of the three modes, or we can be the architects of our own destiny by choosing to give our love to Kṛṣṇa. The tendency to love is there in every creature, in every living being. There's a tendency to love. So that is our perfection. If we take the loving propensity we have and we offer that to Kṛṣṇa, then that's how we become liberated from all the entanglements of the three modes of material nature. The holy name is right there, blessing us, giving us full facility. Isn't it wonderful how Kṛṣṇa has appeared as his name? Can you imagine? We get to directly associate with Kṛṣṇa, Radha and Kṛṣṇa. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That Supreme Person who's far, far away in Goloka Vrindavan. We can't even measure physically how far away he is. How far away is that Rome, Goloka Vrindavan? Golokera Prema Dana Harinama Sankirtana. That all-merciful Lord is having his transcendental pastime in the Goloka Vrindavan right now, this very minute. He has agreed to come all the way here to planet Earth, to us struggling souls in the modes of material nature, to bless us with his divine Sangha. So we have to learn how to take complete shelter of these names. This is our perfection. Kṛṣṇa is fully present. There's unlimited nectar. In this material world, people are running after the so-called nectar of sense gratification. Give me this, give me that, give me. But there's not even one drop of true nectar or rasa in this material sense gratification. It's simply illusory happiness. There's no real nectar here. Like the water in the desert does not exist, but one thinks it is there. One goes running after the mirage. But there's no nectar. So we may think there's happiness here. In fact, we're so accustomed to suffering, we forget that it's really suffering. We're so used to it, so accustomed to it, that we think this is the natural way to be. I feel everything is very natural and normal, but actually it's a very abnormal condition. Our suffering condition here is abnormal, it's not normal. So how do we get out of this conditioning to think our suffering position is actually enjoyment? The key is we have to get it a higher taste. Vishayava nivartante niraha rashidehina rashavashangrasho prashva parang vishmanivartate. The embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, though the taste for sense objects remain, but ceasing such engagement by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. So this is the beauty of this Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement. It gives us a higher taste. Just like one example from the old days in ISKCON, Simply Wonderful. One devotee asked Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, everyone knows Simply Wonderful? I don't know, in India you may not know, but it's powdered milk, powdered sugar and butter. And really, really good. And it's very easy to make. You don't have to cook it. It's very easy to make. You just take some butter, powdered sugar, and powdered milk and make a ball out of it. They're called Simply Wonderful. So Prabhupada was asked by one disciple, says, Srila Prabhupada, what happens when we give somebody a Simply Wonderful? Prabhupada said, if we eat that wonderful sweet, and he will come to your temple, and he will become simply wonderful. Kṛṣṇa is simply wonderful, this process is simply wonderful, and you are all simply wonderful. Prabhupada said, and then one devotee said, Prabhupada is simply wonderful. Prabhupada said, that's all right, have kirtan. I remember I made a devotee with this. I did that myself. I took a bowl of Simply Wonderful, University of Florida campus, and the boy came back and became Shamakunda Das. It's from giving him some Simply Wonderfuls. So it's a fact, we have this way to give you a higher taste. It is very easy to get the higher taste. Prasadam is there, the kirtans are there. There's so many wonderful aspects of our culture. The real point is we have to share. Share means you care. We have to share what we've gotten with the suffering people of this world. That's the whole point. Not that we just keep it to ourselves. No, the whole world is suffering without Kṛṣṇa consciousness, and we've been given the formula, the method, the technique by which they can all be relieved from this suffering. Therefore, we have to go out and anywhere and everywhere, and share them with them Kṛṣṇa consciousness, so they can come out of the suffering condition. This process is not difficult. Simply, we have to make that endeavor to share what we've gotten. And here's the insider secret. The more you give Kṛṣṇa, the more you get Kṛṣṇa. That's pretty transcendental, isn't it? The more you give Kṛṣṇa. So therefore, those who tell us, think, well, let me give Kṛṣṇa the whole world. Let me dedicate my life for giving Kṛṣṇa to the whole world, because that means I get more Kṛṣṇa. You see? We have these great personalities that are showing us the mood. We have these wonderful Goswamis. This is the place right here in this area. They were living 500 years ago. Rupa, Sanatan, Raghunath Das, Raghunath Bhatta, Gopal Bhatta, Jiva. They were right here in this area where we're living right now. They were right in this very area, cultivating Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Hey Radhe Vraja Devike Chalalite, Hey Nanda Sunukutaha, Shri Govardhana Kalpapat Pavratale Kalindi Vanekutaha. They were cultivating, where is Kṛṣṇa, you see? Hey Radhe Vraja Devike, where are you, Mother Radharani, the Queen of Vrindavan? Where are you, Lalita? Hey Radhe Vrajadevike Lalite. Where are you, son of Nanda Maharaj? Are you on the Jamuna right now? Are you on the Govardhan? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? This is the sweetness of what's called Vipalamba, separation. The more we can pay, not to say, oh, guess what, Sanatan, I saw Kṛṣṇa last night. No. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? This hankering, hankering, hankering. Where are you, Kṛṣṇa? You see? This is the highest ecstasy of love of God, to be hankering, 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 hankering. Just like Radharani was also hankering. I'm here with Kṛṣṇa at Kurukshetra. It is very nice, but I want to go back to the bank of the Jamuna and the trees of the forest. Or I want to hear the vibration of his sweet flute. I want to hear that sweet vibration of his flute, the fifth note of his flute in that forest of Vrindavan. So we have to learn how to hanker, 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 hanker. When will that day come? When will that day come? When will that day come? Bhaktivinoda prays. Kabe habe bolo sedi namar. When will that day be mine, when my offenses ceasing, taste for the name increasing, when in my heart will your mercy shine. Kambe hambe bolo sedi namar. When will that day be mine? So we can take advantage of our lack of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Take advantage of it. Well, I'm lacking Kṛṣṇa consciousness. I'm not very happy I'm lacking Kṛṣṇa consciousness. That's great. Take advantage of your lacking, feeling I lack or unhappy about lacking Kṛṣṇa consciousness. It's very good. The more we feel unhappy about lacking Kṛṣṇa consciousness, the more we get Kṛṣṇa consciousness. That's the key. Does anybody have any questions? Yes. Two. You can help me, Vashkasha.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev, thank you for the enlightenment. In the Purport, they're talking about the mahātmānas, your devotees.
Yeah.
What to say of Maya? They are not even getting diverted by another feature of Kṛṣṇa. They are very focused in meditation for Kṛṣṇa. So my question here is like the standard for the pure devotee is very high. What to say of the another feature of Kṛṣṇa? I'm still struggling with my mind and senses. So what is the hope I'll be carrying that I can go back to Godhead in this very lifetime? It seems not just a one lifetime business, but many births.
So Srila Gurudev, it seems the standard for Kṛṣṇa consciousness is very high. As neophytes, we're struggling to not be distracted by Maya. And in Bhagavad Gita, in the Purport was mentioned about that even higher class devotees are not even distracted by another feature of Kṛṣṇa. So it's very high level. So what to speak about myself? It looks like there is no hope to go back to Godhead in this lifetime.
Even if the last minute you remember Kṛṣṇa, you got to cover. I may not be a very high elevated devotee here. I'm a struggling neophyte, battling it out with my mind, words, tongue, belly, and genitals. I'm not very elevated devotee, battling it out. But if somehow or other, the moment of death, Kṛṣṇa, then I got it made. So we just had to learn how to call out to Kṛṣṇa. Even though we're like a little kid, not very exalted in spiritual life, struggling spiritual children, if we can somehow always be in that mood of calling out Kṛṣṇa, 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 always in every situation, Kṛṣṇa, 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 then we're covered. And even if not, even if there's some imperfection, you're guaranteed to get a human birth to continue your next life. So whatever Kṛṣṇa consciousness you've achieved now, that's your eternal asset. In material life, you may accumulate something, but let's say you're a millionaire, but then you go broke, where you start from zero again, you see. But whatever spiritual assets you have now, that's your eternal asset. So you actually, the material nature cannot take away whatever you develop now. It's your eternal asset. So instead of being worried about it, just celebrate it. Well, I've been blessed with this Kṛṣṇa consciousness. This is great. And now one should be celebrating whatever we achieve so far. Instead of being bad at having achieved more than this. Hankering for more is really good, but we don't feel bad. We're celebrating what we have achieved. And that's a great celebration for us. Does that help a little bit? Next.
Shri Gurudev, here in the purport it mentioned about the association with the pure devotees.
Yes.
And then it was mentioned about the ISKCON. You mentioned about the ISKCON. Now within ISKCON we have different varieties or levels of devotees. So is it inappropriate that we anchor for the association of a pure devotee within the association of so many devotees?
Yes and no. Papa said, all my followers, he said, all my followers are pure devotees. He also said that, but at the same time, there's different levels. There's those who are more advanced, equally advanced, and less advanced. That's also mentioned in the Nectar of Instruction. So we take shelter and guidance of those who are more advanced, we make friends of those who are equally advanced, and we're very kind and helpful to those who are less advanced. So both things are there at the same time. Both of them. You say, well, that's contradictory. But in spiritual life, apparent contradictions are not really contradictions. They just appear to be contradictions. But actually, just like you go to the morning program, and many of our Hindu brothers and sisters are here. They're not chanting rounds and following the principles, but they're very enthusiastic to come for darshan. A whole room is filled of them. So that association is also wonderful. Oh, just see how eager they are for darshan. Hundreds of them, in fact, every morning. They may not even follow any principles. But still, that's very enthusing and encouraging. So many people have come to Mangal Arti, 4 o'clock in the morning, get out of bed, come here for the darshan. That's enthusiasm. So we can take advantage of all kinds of association, different levels, and learn how to... We take it in different ways, but still we can be encouraged by all of the different types of association. Anything else? Yeah.
Thank you for the previous answer. And another question is, here you mentioned about the higher taste. So when we see the society, many, especially in India, we see so many people even struggling to get the food, like beggars and even the basic necessities of life.
Yeah.
And now we are talking about the higher taste. So if they are not meeting the even basic necessities of life, so what is the hope that they will...
That's why we have Food for Life program. So nobody would go hungry within... That's Prabhupada's idea. No one will go hungry within 10 miles or 10 kilometers of the temple. So nobody's going to be starving around here. Everybody can be well fed. That's the idea of Food for Life. Because if they're all well fed and someone's starving to death, laying in a gutter, and they're starving to death, how you can preach them? If everybody's well fed and feeling really good, yeah, give me one more thing of khichdi. Feeling really happy, being well fed, and you can say you chant Hare Kṛṣṇa between each bite. And they'll be happy. Oh yes, Hare Kṛṣṇa. So the Food for Life is a very important program. Keep everybody well fed, so there's no beggars dying on the side of the street. Okay.
How we balance the both other way, so lament that we are not perfectly personal consciousness. Lamentation and celebration, what would, how to balance?
So, Srila Gurudev, in one hand, we are lamenting their
I am not perfect.
that they are not perfect, but at the same time we should be celebrating how to.
I thought somebody would pick up that apparent contradiction. Chanting and dancing in ecstasy. At the same time, when will I, daivīṁ, will I can chant purely without any offense? It appears to be contradictory, doesn't it? How can I be chanting and dancing in ecstasy if I'm lamenting my lack of Kṛṣṇa consciousness? One could ask. It's an interesting question. What's the answer to that question? Well, if the acharyas can do it, it must be doable. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a pure devotee. You can see Kṛṣṇa face to face, yet he's lamenting. So if a pure devotees can taste the unlimited nectar and at the same time lament their lack of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, it's certainly doable, isn't it? Actually, here's the insider secret. The more we actually lament our lack of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, the more we experience the bliss of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. That's the insider secret. The more I'm lamenting my lack of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, the more I'm actually relishing the nectar of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Isn't it?
How can we celebrate?
How we can celebrate?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. What is the difficulty? Chanting and dancing in ecstasy. Jumping up and down, swaying back and forth, relishing, just like here we are relishing the sweet flavor of Krishna Bhakti, talking about this amazing Kṛṣṇa, who's all powerful, all beautiful, all renounced, all wealthy, all famous, and all wise, who's standing right now on the bank of at Keshi-Ghat, blowing the fifth note on his flute in a beautiful moonlit night with his sidelong glances and placing his flute to his lips, which like newly blossomed twigs. What could be more enlivening than that? Nothing more enlivening than that. You see? Think about Kṛṣṇa, his wonderful pastimes, lifting Govardhan. I mean, who can imitate such a personality? In this world, everybody's looking for superstars, but these so-called superstars, they're nothing compared to Kṛṣṇa, the supreme superstar. So we should adore and appreciate this great personality who's the source of all existence. Everything is emanating from him. He's within every atom. He's between every atom. And he's our very suhridam sarvabhutanam. He's your best friend. He's sitting with you. Can you imagine that person is the source of everything, who controls everything, who knows everything, is your best friend. He's sitting right now in your heart beside you. And he treats every single jiva soul as the most special person in all of existence. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Well, just try to understand who is Kṛṣṇa and you'll be amazed. Absolutely amazed. How this person can be so merciful, so powerful, and such an intimate, well-wishing friend all at the same time. Okay? There was a question back there.
Everything in this material world is so uncertain, so there is a fear if I can keep myself sufficiently engaged in Kṛṣṇa conscious activities and remain protected from Maya. Everything in this material world is uncertain.
Everything in this material world is uncertain. So
Is what?
Uncertain.
A certain?
Uncertain.
Ascertained?
Uncertain. 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 Not clear.
Not clear.
Uncertain. Yeah.
Uncertain, okay. Yes and no.
So,
There is a fear that if I can keep myself sufficiently engaged in Kṛṣṇa conscious activities,
so there is a fear how to engage in Kṛṣṇa consciousness activities sufficiently
and remain protected from Maya.
and remain protected from Maya.
Well, there's no reason to be afraid because Kṛṣṇa guarantees your success. Sarvadaman parijam mamekang sharanang vrja. Just surrender to me, I'll free you from all your, I will certainly free you from all of your karmic reactions. There's an absolute guarantee. And as long as you go on your own material, you'll be very in an uncertain position. As long as you go on your own, yes, in a very fearful, uncertain condition. But when you fully surrender to Kṛṣṇa, everything is completely certain and guaranteed. And Kṛṣṇa is actually there with you at every minute. He is willing to reciprocate with you unlimitedly with every minute in pure loving relationship, and that is certain. That's guaranteed. So why worry about the external situations when the internal situation is absolutely guaranteed? But even externally, everything is guaranteed. You're going to get sick, you get old, you'll die, and this way or that way, sooner or later, it's all going to come down. That's a fact. So why don't you count on the certainty of the material nature and the certainty of the spiritual nature at the same time? Why don't you tune into the certainty of everything instead of being bewildered, wondering about the uncertainties? You see, uncertainties means a lack of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Kṛṣṇa consciousness means certainly. I'm absolutely certain that Kṛṣṇa is with me at every minute. He'll take care of me in every situation in the most amazingly wonderful way. Isn't it? Is everybody awake back there? Or was somebody who's taking a nap back there? Anyway. Any more questions? Yeah.
Krishna says, those who are not deluded, the great soul are under the protection of divine nature.
Is this from the Purport?
The translation.
Translation? Yeah, I can't hear. Okay, let me look at the translation. All right.
Those who are not deluded.
You're not under the protection of the divine nature. That's right.
So, the delusion and illusion always is there in our mind, in my mind. Like,
What's that called?
Illusion and delusion is always in my mind. So how to overcome it?
Kick it out. You're not welcome, your illusion. Get out of my brain, you rascal. You're not welcome here. I've been illusioned for thousands and millions of lifetimes, and where did I get me another damn rotting material body? You see. So illusion, get out of here. You're not welcome here. You see. Shimunacharya said he spit at the thought of material sense enjoyment. So we just have to say, I reject you. My dear Maya Devi, I've been your faithful servant for millions of births, and now you're not welcome here anymore. You see. You're not welcome anymore, you see. Actually, when you fully surrender to Kṛṣṇa, Maya Devi will surrender to you. Oh, here's a great devotee. Let me fully surrender. Let me offer my obeisance to this great devotee. You see, material nature will actually become your servant when you fully surrender to Kṛṣṇa. So, those who are not deluded are under protection of the divine nature. So if you desire to come to that position, and you follow the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita, you will achieve that protection. You will achieve that protection if you desire it and you follow the instructions given in the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is for this purpose, how to guide you to become free from the influence of the material nature, filling in the protection of the divine nature. The fact is, sometimes the material nature is always there, trying to pull us away. But Kṛṣṇa protects us. That's a fact. Sometimes we're attacked by Maya, isn't it? Sometimes Maya attacks us, pulling us away into sense gratification. But if you're sincere to be a devotee of Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa will always step in and protect you from the influence of the material nature. That's a fact. We simply have to intelligently understand, I've got no hope except for Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Everything else is cutting my throat. Anything besides Krishna Bhakti is cutting my throat. That's all. So let me understand, I have no one but Radha and Kṛṣṇa. I have no shelter but Radha and Kṛṣṇa, as Narottam prays. I've got no shelter but Radha and Kṛṣṇa. Humbly praise Narottam Das Thakur. So we have to follow these great personalities, Bhaktivinoda, Narottam, Srila Prabhupada, Understand, I have no shelter in this material nature. To take shelter of it is complete idiocy. It's complete asinineness. It's the most stupid thing I could ever do in millions of births, to take shelter of the divine nature. Therefore, let me take complete shelter of the spiritual nature, begging Kṛṣṇa, begging my spiritual master, begging the great acharyas, please, 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 bless me. I will no longer be attracted to the material nature. We have to intensify our prayer, cutting through all the layers of the material nature. Cut through it all, like a powerful drill, cutting through the thick iron coverings of the material nature. Anything else? Everybody satisfied now? Everyone's satisfied? Everybody had enough of the material nature, or want some more? Give me some more Maya. Just a little more Maya. Or you've had finished with the material nature. I've had it. The love affair is over. That's it. No more love affair with Maya Devi. It's finished. My dear Maya Devi, I have served you faithfully for millions and millions of births, and it simply got me into more and more trouble. So now it's all over. I want only Kṛṣṇa consciousness, 24/7, wherever I may be, in the holy dham, at my job, in the commute, wherever I may be, in whatever country, whatever universe I may be in. I have no business now except to take shelter of complete Kṛṣṇa consciousness, pure Kṛṣṇa bhakti, Shuddha bhakti. Is that it? Everybody's finished? When will this thing be over with so I can get out of here? Yes?
We normally call Maya is a witch and we call Maya is bad. So is
Maya is neither good nor... Maya can be good also. Maya is the Lord's inferior energy. So Maya will actually help you in your Kṛṣṇa. She will actually serve you and help you if you're a pure devotee of Kṛṣṇa. Maya Devi will become your servant. So she's neither good or bad, but it's a matter of here's a mundane example. Is the police force good or bad? For a criminal it's very bad, but for a law-abiding citizen it's great. I'm being protected by the police, that's great. So the police force is good for the law-abiding and bad for the criminals. So Maya is like that. For a devotee, she's actually a great blessing for a devotee who's Kṛṣṇa conscious. She's only bad for the criminals, but even for the criminals, she's good because she punishes them for their nonsense. So there's nothing else? Yes.
So, Shabrada, when we discuss our philosophy in this way, like Maya Devi and then punishment, then how can we differentiate our philosophy with the Christian philosophy as well? Because in Christianity they also say that the sinners, they will go to hell. Sometimes the preachers speak like that. So how do we differentiate our philosophy that our philosophy is higher and not that Kṛṣṇa is punishing us just for the sake of our sins?
The Christians say all the sinners go to hell, but actually they don't realize they're already in hell. Of course, there are hellish planets for those who engage. There are heavenly and hellish planets within the universe. But actually we're already in hell. This material world is already hell. They don't realize they're already suffering in hell. That's what they don't realize. They think, we're very good Christians, we go to church every Sunday, we pray over our meals, so we're actually going to go to heaven, but they don't realize they're eating meat. I grew up as a Christian, and we went to church I would dress up with a coat and tie every Sunday, a little coat and tie, go to church, come back, and we had a special meal every Sunday in the dining room. We would pray over the meal. We thought we were all going to heaven. We didn't realize we're eating meat. We're going to become going to a slaughterhouse in our next birth and be slaughtered for all the cow meat we eat. We didn't realize it. But by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we're actually understanding what does it really mean to be suffering in hell, and how to get out of that hellish condition. You have to, if you've surrendered to Kṛṣṇa, then you won't have to undergo the reactions for all the sinful activities. But yeah, the basic idea of Christianity is good, but they don't understand their own teachings. That's the problem. Krishna says, Lord Jesus says, Father, not my will, but thy will be done. But they don't see what is God's will. They don't follow the 10 Commandments. They water it down. Well, the Bible says thou shalt not kill, but we all know that means thou shalt not kill human beings. But the Bible doesn't say that. It says thou shalt not kill, period. You see? So what they do is they water down the teachings to support their own sense gratification, and they think they're going to heaven. They're deluded. They're actually going down to become cows in the next birth and be slaughtered in the slaughterhouses. That's where they're heading. In spite of their so-called, they're not really Christians. They're not really following Lord Jesus. It's called churchianity. You go to church and they don't understand the facts. So there's nothing else? Yes?
This place is full of dukhalia, they say.
What is it?
This material world is full of dukhalia.
Yeah, the kaliam, suffering, that's right.
And what is the real happiness?
The real happiness in this material world is to revive your Kṛṣṇa consciousness. The living entity actually is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. Due to misidentification with matter, suffering, temporality, ignorance, and misery. So the real happiness is very simple: revive your Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Simple formula. Okay, Bhoga. All right. What is it?
We are eternal beings, but living in this material world, it is so difficult to live in that kind of state that we are eternal beings, we are not this body, we are an eternal soul, we are not this body. So, how to live in that state that yes, we are not this body?
Well, you have to actually practice the sadhana bhakti process. If you start acting as if you're not the material body, by following the process of sadhana bhakti, then that realization will gradually come to you. We know theoretically we're not the body, but now we practice the philosophy of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, we practice the sadhana bhakti processes. We practice these things which are in accordance with our actual identities. We know another bodies theoretically, but now act according to the principles that reinforce that you're not the body and gradually become practically realized. Engage the tongue in chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa, for example, tasting prasadam. These are not activities for material sense gratification. These are activities in accordance with our spiritual identities. So we act in accordance with our spiritual identities, even though we don't have them yet. We're not realizing our spiritual identities, but if we act in do those activities that awaken our spiritual identity. It's like when somebody is mentally deranged, they go to a psychologist and he helps them come back to their actual sane state. Prabhupada gives the example. So right now we're insane actually. But we go to the psychologist, the Supreme Psychologist, Kṛṣṇa and his bona fide representatives. By acting under their instructions, we're going through a therapy to help us come back to our original natural consciousness. Okay?
It will take time, or
it can happen within a second, or it can take millions of lifetimes, but it's all right. As long as we're on the pathway, that's what counts. It can happen very quickly. Just like, what was his name? Maharaj Kadvangu. It was one king immediately realized it within a second, as an example. Or it may take many lifetimes. It's all right. As long as I'm on this pathway, that's what counts. I think, well, I didn't realize it in 1 year, so I'm giving it up. No, a devotee is patient. Even if it takes millions of lifetimes, it's okay. I just want to serve Kṛṣṇa and please Kṛṣṇa. It doesn't matter if I fully realize or not, I just want to please Him. So we have to have that determination and enthusiasm. Even if I don't get it quickly, that's all right. I'm going to be patient. If it takes millions of births, it's okay with me. But I just want to remain fixed in this process of Kṛṣṇa consciousness.
Thank you very much.
Okay? Thank you very much. All right, one more, okay.
Shri Gurudev, as first word mahātmānas, the great soul. What is the difference between the soul and great soul?
So there was a word mahātmānas. It means a great soul. So what is the difference between great soul and just a simple soul?
Simple?
Like a soul.
A soul is not just a soul. He's either Duratma or Mahātmā. You can't be in a position. I'm neither Duratma nor Mahātmā. You're the one way or the other. If you've taken up Kṛṣṇa Bhakti, you're a Mahātmā on some level, or if you haven't taken it up, you're a Duratma. There's no question of just being a soul. If you're just a soul, you're a Duratma.
Is it difference of consciousness?
Huh?
It's a difference of consciousness?
Yes. Actually, everybody's a Mahātmā, but they're covered by Duratma consciousness. So when you want to get rid of Duratma consciousness, you already accept it as a Mahātmā. Even the neophyte accept it as a Mahātmā. As soon as you want to get rid of Duratma consciousness, you accept it as a Mahātmā. The neophyte Mahātmā or advanced Mahātmā. Thank you all very much. Hare Kṛṣṇa.